break in anytime. Now, back to America's most powerful talk lineup. This is WHIO.
It's that time again.
Something told me to turn on the radio.
It's showtime!
This is great. It's a nice break. It's got Todd.
Monday through Friday.
Getting restless?
5 to 7.
All right, I'm listening. Let's start the show.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Festivus for the rest of us. It's time for the airing of grievance. Gather round the pole. Woo-hoo! And behold, soon it will be Festivus. Traffic gridlock, people jaywalk, strangers becoming hostile. In the air you can smell irritation. People outraged and they complain, faking smile after smile. This is why we celebrate each year. Festivus for the rest of us. It's time for the airing of grievance. It's actually Monday. Monday is officially Festivus, but I thought we'd get an early start on it. It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Tonight on the show, if all goes according to plan, just after 5:30, we will have Miami Valley's morning news host, Larry Hanskin, on. He has a comedy benefit that he's doing this weekend, Saturday, at Ricky's Comedy Club in Miamisburg. So he's going to come on and talk about that. Maybe a little bit about those Flyers. They won last night. Wow. By a point. By the skin of their teeth. Also, after 6:30, it's not Wing It Wednesday, but we do have somebody coming in, actually a group of ballet dancers. And I can't wait to see their pliés. So that'll be happening after 6:30. They're going to be talking about the Nutcracker, which is like a Dayton holiday tradition. The Dayton Ballet, they've been doing the Nutcracker for years and years and years. And this year, it's a brand new ballet. It debuted last week down at the Schuster, and we're going to talk to them about it. We're going to have a number of their dancers on and marketing people, the whole deal. So that's coming up after 6:30. We also have a pair of tickets to give away for Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's going to be down in Cincinnati at the Andrew J. Brady Music Center May 6th, giving a lecture, Search for Life in the Universe. So when you hear Dr. Tyson tell his photon joke, it might be the only one he has. Be the fifth caller at 937-457-1290. Well, I had something else I was going to talk about here at the beginning of the show. I had this crazy story about a teacher in Toledo. But during the news, I heard Ron mention this fight down at the library downtown. And this is not anything new. You know, there's been incidents downtown at the library multiple times. Now, I know that earlier this year, there was a branch of the library, and I don't know which one it was, but there was a branch of the library that closed, I guess, like after school, because there were students. In that case, it was students who were going to the library, and they were sort of just loitering. They weren't really using the library. At least some of them were not using the library. as they're supposed to. And there was violence. There was a crazy violence. So they had to close it down during a certain time of the day. And that's the time of the day when a lot of students might be going to the library to do their work. Now, I haven't heard yet in the news story who caused the issues down there today. I know from Ron's report, there were 2 ambulances there. I don't know if they took anybody away that was injured. We don't know if they were students. Maybe somebody, I don't know if they were students, or I'm just going to say it, there's homeless people that hang out down there. I've been to the downtown library. It's been a while, admittedly, but I remember going to their special collections area because I was doing some genealogy. Yeah, I'm one of those nerds. But I was doing some genealogy, and there was a huge number of folks that were down there that you could just tell were camped out from the morning when they open to the time when they close. So it's hard telling what happened down there. But I think, and this is sad, a lot of the malls and even the Green most recently, they've come up with these policies that say that if you're under a certain age, you can't be there without a parent. Is that what's going to happen at the library? Are they going to say, you can't come to the library unless you are over the age of fill in the blank, unless you've got a parent? But I don't know what that age would be, because I'm guessing, unlike the mall, or any mall or the Green or wherever, I mean, I remember being in those places and seeing kids that look probably 11, 12, 13, just acting fools, going nuts. But I don't know that that's what's happening at the libraries. I don't know if that's the age that is causing the problems, or if it's older kids, like teenagers, 15, 16, 17. I don't know. So I don't know how you put an age limit. I mean, it sounds a little ridiculous to say if you're under the age of 17 or 17 and under, you need to have a parent at the library with you, or a guardian of some sort. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it was students fighting or if it was homeless folks. But maybe we'll get more details on that. It's crazy. This is the library. This is the library. It's not a camp. It's not a hotel. It's not a rest station. It's a library. We have some teachers news.
Literally the worst teacher ever.
You're a really shitty teacher.
No such thing, bad student, only bad teacher.
You're a joke. You're the worst teacher I've ever had.
Well, this is the second crazy story from Toledo. And I have a bone to pick with Toledo, because Toledo is always mentioned on these lists of great things in the state of Ohio, and Dayton is never mentioned. Like great city for partying, Toledo's mentioned, Dayton's not. Great staycation location, Toledo's mentioned, Dayton is not. And I think that's crazy. Yesterday, we had a story from Toledo where a thief or thieves hot-wired a forklift and destroyed an ATM. That's not happened here. I don't think so. Now we've got this story. This is a Toledo, Ohio teacher. She was suspended after allegedly forcing 2 students on 2 separate occasions, a day apart, but 2 separate students, 2 separate occasions, to go outside in the cold without a coat until they stopped crying. The kids, who were a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, this was at some sort of early childhood program. And this was at Beverly Elementary School in Toledo. Happened December 3rd and 4th. Now, the temperature at the time was in the mid-30s. So that's cold, almost freezing, maybe, 32. That's cold, right? I mean, but it's not like it was 10 or 15 or 20. It's still cold. Don't get me wrong. It's cold. But one of the incidents was recorded on video, and I'm not sure by whom. It doesn't say in any of the stories that I found. I found this reference like 5 or 6 times, but it doesn't say anything about how this video was taken, whether it was a bystander or whether it was the teacher herself. But in the video, you can hear the teacher telling the students or asking the student, one of them, are you cold yet? You're not coming in until you stop crying. That's brutal. That is brutal. A supervisor of the early childhood program there at Beverly Elementary in Toledo reached out to the children's mothers, telling them that their daughters were allegedly sent outside without a coat until they stopped crying. Well, that's what the video shows. Toledo Public School spokesperson says that the teacher, somebody by the name of Karen Henk, has been suspended without pay, and the incident was reported to the Lucas County Children's Services. Now, I remember when I was in school, I was in 6th grade. I went to Maine Elementary in Beaver Creek, and we went on a field trip to Glen Helen. And now a lot of kids that grew up around this area, and I don't know if they still do that, but 6th graders from different schools would go spend a week out in the woods. They'd go to these little lodges, and they'd learn all about the outdoors, and I hate it. It was awful. I think I lasted 2 days. Honestly, it was just the worst. That's punishment enough. But the lodge that I was in, it was obviously, in 6th grade, you've got the boy lodge and you got the girl lodge. There's no mixing of the boys and the girls in 6th grade. So imagine 6th grade boys all together out in the woods late at night in their lodge. They're crazy. They're just crazy. They're all hyped up on sugar and whatever we could get our hands on. We were causing all kinds of trouble. And the chaperone that we had in our lodge was a teacher, an older teacher from Maine Elementary. I don't remember his name. Maybe Mr. Johnson. And Mr. Johnson was a former military guy. I'm almost certain he was in World War II. Might have been in World War I. I mean, he was really old. He could have been in the Civil War. I have no idea. But he punished us by making us stand in the lobby of the lodge at attention for an hour. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but if you've got a kid who's in 6th grade, in particular a boy, how long do you think that he could stand still for just not moving? That was punishment. That was real punishment. But yeah, I mean, sending a kid out in the cold, especially at 3 or 4, that's just that's ridiculous. But I'd be curious to know what kind of crazy punishments you received from one of your teachers.
What am I listening to now? What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
T-O.
Double D.
H. Oh.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
trying to find something. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. Trying to find something. Where to go? There's that one. Is this it? Okay, I got it. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Me too, Dennis. Me too. I am so ready to be done. I can't even tell you. Oh, my God. I mean, don't get me wrong. Blah, blah, blah. I love doing the show. Blah, blah, blah. You know, all that. But man, oh, man. I said it the other night. This is the time where I just start. I'm like, ugh. I'm ready to be done. I am not, Dennis. I'm staying at home. In fact, everybody's coming to me. Mary's family's coming to our house. My mom and sister and my sister's family's coming to our house. We've got friends coming to our house.
People in New Carlisle are balking at a planned new Rumpke facility. We'll have that for you at 5:30. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst at 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
At best, you're an underachiever at a local radio station.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. I have a story of a teacher up in Toledo who was suspended without pay after she sent a 3- and 4-year-old out into the cold without their coats as punishment. Doesn't say what they did. Like, it doesn't say what sort of shenanigans they were up to. But she said they couldn't come back inside until they stopped crying. And this happened not once, but 2 times, 2 different students. So I'm just curious what sort of school punishment maybe you were on the other end of. Charlie in Bellefontaine, what's up, Charlie?
Well, hi, Todd. Enjoy your show.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Todd, times have changed. I graduated in 76, and I mean, I got in my share of trouble. We started out the cloakroom. They called it the coat room.
Yeah.
You would have to stand in there until they let you back out. And of course, then you were embarrassed facing the rest of the students.
Right.
But stand in the corner, stand at the blackboard with your nose up against it.
I had to do that. Yeah. Stand in the corner. Yeah.
For an hour. Boy, that would be tough.
Well, especially for a 6th grader, you know,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, little boys are like, woo, you know, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would teach you definitely some, I was in the military and I wouldn't want to do that one.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this teacher in Toledo, though. You know, standing in the corner, standing in the cloakroom, standing with your nose up against the chalkboard, sitting out in the hallway, whatever it is, pretty innocuous, right? I mean, it's not going to really hurt you. But when you send a kid out there with no coat, when it's, you know, freezing weather, and it doesn't say how long they were out there. That's just crazy. That's crazy.
That's over the line.
Yeah. I mean, somebody could get frostbite, you know?
I've always said, bring the paddle back and bring God back.
Well, bring
it. You know, those are 2 things that are missing in our.
There you go. Let's
swinging the paddle.
Beat him over the head.
Yeah.
With the board and the Bible, I guess, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Charlie. I appreciate your call. Have a good one. Let's beat him down. Take that.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper.
It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Good luck, Zach. Good luck on your job interview. So I don't know if Ron just talked about the library fight. It was 2 adults fighting a 15-year-old. The 15-year-old was taken to the hospital. The 2 adults were arrested. I used to get detention all the time. I mean, and the thing was, it wasn't for like hardcore behavior problems. I had a study hall teacher who really cracked down on people who were talking in study hall. And if you got busted, like I would assume that, if you were warned once or twice, that's when you got in trouble. But you were given the choice. You could write a sentence 100 times and turn it in the next day, or you could opt for detention. But the sentence was like a paragraph long. And it was intended to be long. Really, to really develop and cause some writer's hand cramp, And she'd have the sentence up on the wall, and it was this long paragraph. I'm like, I'm not gonna write that 100 times. I'll take a detention. 35 minutes after school. All right, whatever. I think we got out at 2:00 and or maybe 2:15, and study hall started at 2:20. Kelly, he got detention. I can see that. I can see it. Or if I was late for school because I walked. It was interesting. I lived in Beaver Creek. If you lived less than a mile from your school, you had to walk to school. Well, my street was actually exactly the mile. So I could either walk to school or I could go down to the end of the street and catch the bus. It just depended on how early I got up. I generally didn't get up early. I mean, my mom woke me up every morning, but I'd sleep, hit that, snooze alarm, but then I'd have to race to school because I missed the bus and I'd end up being late and I'd get a demerit. And at the time, I think it was like, if you got maybe 5 demerits, you would get a detention or something like that. Yeah. That's right, Barrett. Walking home from school is a lot faster than taking the bus. In fact, I remember timing it a few times. By the time the school bus would leave the parking lot, after everybody got on all the buses, because when I walked, I was in junior high, and we shared the same buses with the high school. And they were 2 different schools. And by the time everybody got on the bus and all the buses pulled out, I mean, if we got out of school at 3:00, I don't think we were pulling out of there until like 3:20. So, I mean, I would get home probably, if I walked, I'd probably get home 15 minutes before the bus. Well, that's not very nice, Clinton. I walked quite a bit and rode my bike.
H-I-O.
Everybody, could I have your attention, please?
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Now, hold on, dummy. Just you listen to me.
Now, listen to me carefully.
You boys got something to say to me? Why don't you talk in the microphone?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream up on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Well, I thought Larry Hanskin was going to call the show to promote his big toy drive comedy show this Saturday, but maybe he dozed off. I mean, he gets up like at 3 o'clock in the morning, or maybe earlier. I don't know. But this Saturday, December 21st, this is at Brixie's Comedy Club in Miamisburg. It's a lineup of comedy. Let's see, you got Larry, you got Ray Jackson, Rob Haney, Jesse Nutt, Karen Jaffe, Brent Bowser, Dan Dean, and Nate Washington. Starts at 7:30, and admission is a toy. All you got to do is bring a toy. One measly toy. And the toys are going to be donated to the House of Bread. And this is inside Star City Brewing Company, 3119 2nd Street, South 2nd Street in Miamisburg. And if you want to get more details on this, go to Bricky's, that's BRICKYS, comedy.com. And once again, this is the Toy Drive Comedy Show featuring our very own Larry Hanskin. And that's Saturday, December 21st. We have some mail.
Knock off the jaw jack, and it's time for mail call.
Master, I have mail for you.
The fan mail.
Oh, I'm a big fan of yours.
The mail is here.
Your hate mailbox is full.
If you'd like to send me an email, eveningedgetodd@gmail.com, or you can message me at eveningedgetodd. Hey, Todd, I follow you on Facebook and saw the picture you posted of Edgy, your backyard squirrel. Yeah, the other day I posted a picture of Edgy. And Edgy, if you haven't seen this photo, you need to go and check it out. It's on my Facebook. Edgy is overstuffed for the winter. I'm not kidding. He's, with his tail, he looks to be about 2.5 feet long. And just as girthy. I mean, he's huge. But he was on the front of a tree right out in our flower bed, looking straight into the window of my studio. And what's funny is that he was kind of looking at this sort of Christmas decoration. That it's a squirrel. We have a big squirrel and a baby squirrel in our front yard, and Edgy seemed to be checking out the Christmas squirrels. But then he kind of spotted, I think he spotted me and just looked right up at me, and I was able to snap the photo. But anyway, you got to check it out. Did you hear, and back to the email, did you hear about what's happening with some squirrels in California? Apparently, they've become flesh-eating predators. Well, that's disconcerting. Keep an eye on Edgy. I hate to see him become a zombie squirrel. Now, there is an idea for a movie. Some sort of animated movie. Zombie squirrel. Let's see. I'd hate to see him become a zombie squirrel, sneak into your house and attack you while you're sleeping. Well, I'd hate that too. Trump. Love your show. Listen every night on my way home from work. Marissa and Vandalia. Well, thank you, Marissa. So I thought, well, what? Squirrels, flesh-eating predators? Squirrels generally are just like vegetarians, right? They go for nuts. They go for berries, things like that. But I looked up the story, and I found this on Yahoo News. And this is it. Flesh-eating squirrels, which hunt down and devour voles, have been spotted for the first time in the wild by biologists. Now, I have to be honest, I didn't know what a vole was until my mother-in-law came to visit a week or so ago, and she was telling us about the fact that that her cat sometimes catches voles out in their field. They kind of live in the hills down near Chillicothe. And I had no idea what a vole is. But apparently, these squirrels, which were thought to be primarily vegetarian, have been attacking voles and tearing them to shreds. They're becoming flesh-eating predators. Experts say it fundamentally changes their understanding of squirrels, which clearly have a more omnivorous, there you go, and flexible diet than had been assumed. But they said many questions remain unanswered, including how widespread hunting behavior is among squirrels, whether and how it is passed down from parent to pup, or how it affects the environment. Now, that's interesting. I wonder if anybody else has seen squirrels go into town on another animal. I mean, I know that they've been known to maybe chomp on eggs that they find in birds' nests. Certainly seeds and berries and, of course, nuts. They gather those and then they hide them and then they forget where they're at. But that's flesh-eating squirrels. That's all we need. Hopefully it's, it's just kept in California. We don't need that. 937-457-1290. If you have any comments about that, maybe you've got a squirrel in your yard that has you concerned. We got some breaking the law news here.
Breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law.
I remember talking about this earlier this year. There was a guy up in Wisconsin, but I didn't know the backstory at the time. There was a 43-year-old man in Wisconsin who got arrested after having some sort of confrontation with his daughter and her boyfriend. This was back in March near Green Bay. He got arrested after cops showed up and found him drunk, naked, and waving a BB gun around that looked like a pistol. Very concerning. This guy apparently goes by the name, and this is his legal name, Deez-Nuts. Like Deez-Nuts. Deez-Nuts. Deeznuts. Back in 2011, he legally changed his name from Derek Lee Kroll to Deez-Nuts Kroll, D-E-Z. Noting that he changed his name because he hated his real name, Derek Lee. But then 6 years later in 2017, he petitioned to change his first name from Deez-Nuts to Deez-Nuts. Because the first time he changed it, he misspelled it on the application. Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. But anyway, he's sentenced to a year probation and fined and ordered to stay sober. I wonder if he changed his name when he was drunk. Maybe. Why would you go from Derek Lee to Deez-Nuts? Oh my gosh, he's here. Larry. You there? Oh, hang on. Now, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I'm glad you called. I was curious. I was afraid something happened to you.
Nah, I just got tied up doing Christmas type stuff.
No, I got you. But let me. Last time you were on, you mentioned a song, and I went to the effort to get it. So I think this is the one you were talking about, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is Larry's walk-on music.
Hats off to Larry. He broke your heart, just like you broke mine when you said we was part.
There we go. You know, the song's about broken hearts and sad people, but I love the hats off to Larry. I mean, that's great. We just need to cut out all the other nonsense.
Well, you know, what can I say? I'm a heartbreaker.
You are a heartbreaker. So I kind of promoted your event coming up, but you touch on it again because this is going to be great on Saturday out at Brixie's Comedy Club in Miamisburg. And it's a huge lineup of comedians, including yourself.
Yeah, and I can vouch for each and every one of them. He's you know, Karen Jaffe, Ray Jackson, Dave Washington, Rob Haney, Dan Dean. I'm probably forgetting somebody, but it's a great lineup. It really is. I can vouch for every single one of them. So the show will be great, and it costs you nothing but a new toy or a children's book, which we in turn will take down to the House of Bread to give to the youngest guests that are served there, and they'll be getting their gifts on Christmas Eve then.
Oh, sweet. That's great. So yeah, it's a night of comedy, and it costs you a toy. That's, you know.
And excuse me, a lot of different ages. So, if I was going to encourage anyone, for an age group, a lot of times the older kids kind of get overlooked, when I say the older kids, like the tweens,
right?
11, 12-year-olds, something like that. So, and that would be nice if people could think along those lines. But hey, whatever moves your heart, do it. Brickies, if people are not familiar with Brickies, I'm going to take you back in the Wayback Machine to the Peerless Mill Inn.
Oh, yeah.
In Miamisburg.
Yeah.
Well, the old Peerless Mill Inn is now Star City Brewery. And Star City Brewery is the home of Brickies. Brickies is inside the Star City Brewery. So you get there, you come inside. They got the nice little brew pub there. And you go down the hall to your left are different rooms where people gather for meetings or to play board games, stuff like that. And on the right-hand side down the hall from the brew pub is Brickies, a nice room, good stage, good setup. They're starting to really kick it and have been really for the last couple of years. And obviously with the void created by the closing of Wiley's, they're filling that gap with great shows every Friday and Saturday night. And this Saturday night, 7:30, it will be the toy show for the House of Bread.
Awesome. That's great. I think the website was brickiescomedyclub.com. I think that's what was on the flyer. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a case where you don't have to make reservations. And since there's no transactional thing taking place, just get there, maybe get there don't get there right at 7:30, get there between 7:30, get a beverage, and drop off the toy and, get ready to have some fun for a good cause.
Awesome. Thank you, Larry. Have fun on Saturday. I was going to ask you about the flyers too.
Yeah. Boy, that was a thriller last night. Maybe not what people hoped for, but sometimes, what was this? You don't always get the game that you want, but sometimes you get the game that you need.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the case because this is a situation where Dayton, learning how to win a game like that is going to pay dividends down the road.
And very motivating going into Friday night when they take on Cincinnati.
Well, I don't know that they needed much more motivation. I mean, that rivalry predates any player on either team.
Okay.
But the fan base has clued them in. They know.
I got you.
And it'll be a heck of an atmosphere down there at the Heritage Bank Center in Cincinnati, or as I like to call it, people go, "Where's that?" And I go, "Well, you know that kind of crappy arena by the river? Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Just slap a new name on it. It's still a crappy place." All right, Larry. We got to fly here. I appreciate it. Thanks. Have a great event.
Thank you, Todd.
Yeah, see you, man. There you go. Larry Hanskin.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
David, I think so. I remember that name, Mr. Coverman, and I'm trying to picture the face. But I believe that was who was running it. Thank you, Trash Can Joe. I am having a good evening. No worries, Clinton. When I saw your message previously, on the whatchamacallit, on the stream, I saw that you weren't talking to me. But see, that's the thing. It's like sometimes when somebody asks a question or says something to someone else on the live stream, I'm not following all your conversations. So when I see something like that, after just talking about walking to school, I was like, oh, okay. It's all good. Big Daddy Coverman. Well, I agree, Leslie, but here's the other thing. You don't hear the inflection when somebody types something. So I moved on. Don't worry about it. It's all good. No biggie. I just got some pictures from a couple of edgeheads who got their Christmas ornaments today that they won playing Radio Drone Battle. It's pretty cool. I think that's how I remember him, David. Was that at the high school or at Ferguson? I don't remember.
Studio. Is and Pleasant Hill.
TikTok reaches the Supreme Court, and we'll have the latest at 6 o'clock. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
From a psychological standpoint, the radio station represents a link to normalcy.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Still have a pair of tickets to give away to see Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's going to be giving a lecture, Search for Life in the Universe, in May. Down in Cincinnati, we're going to do it after 6 o'clock. And then just after 6:30, if all goes according to plan, we're going to have some real live ballet dancers here in the studio. I can't wait. I love ballet dancers. Wayne and Franklin, what's up, Wayne?
Hey, Todd. Great show as always.
Thank you.
You were talking about moles and squirrels. Squirrels don't eat them. They kill them.
Well, the story that I saw is that there are squirrels in California that are normally vegetarian squirrels. They're now putting smackdowns on voles, and they're attacking them and they're killing them and being vicious.
Well, Gavin Newsom's the governor of California. I don't doubt anything
Well,
in that state. That's not normal.
I understand, but this is what I'm saying. I hope that trend doesn't spread east towards our neck of the woods, and we end up with flesh-eating zombie squirrels.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper.
It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Zombie flying squirrels.
And 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
If news breaks, we break in anytime. Now, back to America's most powerful talk lineup. This is WHIO.
I'm looking for the dude by the name of Todd.
He's a local boy.
He's a clever boy.
He's got the microphone.
He's got all the firepower he needs, and he ain't afraid to use it.
We heard about your broadcast.
Woo! It's like Fruit Loops. Okay, let's get this started.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
That's hot. That's hot.
It's hot. So hot. Personally, I think it's hot.
That's hot. That's hot.
So hot.
Oh my God, that's hot. I think it's hot.
That's hot. It's hot.
This is hot.
It is so hot.
That's hot.
So hot, right?
I think it's so hot.
It's so hot.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up and rolling on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. A little bit later this hour, scheduled to appear, actual ballet dancers from the Dayton Ballet. They're putting on Nutcracker right now, which is a Dayton tradition. And this year, it's a new show. It's still the Nutcracker that we all know and love, but it's refreshed. It's new. And they're going to be here talking about that sometime after 6:30. We also have a pair of tickets to give away to see Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm going to do some science news here in a few minutes. So when I do the science news, I'll play the joke. Neil deGrasse Tyson telling his photon joke, his famous photon joke. And just be the fifth caller at 937-457-1290. But I got a survey.
You say, we know everything you do. These are the facts.
Tell me something I don't know.
Our survey facts.
I don't normally talk about controversial things on the show, and I don't want this to get into a big controversy. But I saw this sort of happening on social media right after the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, was gunned down in New York City. And my wife and I talked about it because she's on TikTok considerably more than I am. And she was seeing videos that people seem to be supporting this accused shooter, Luigi Mangione. And I thought, well, that's odd, ridiculous. That just must be a few crackpot TikTokers, right? So I wasn't going to bring it up. But then I saw this story today. This is a survey done by Emerson College Polling. And they've been doing polling for a very, very, very long time. So they did a poll of 1,000 registered voters. And they found that 41% of adults under the age of 30 consider the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson acceptable. Acceptable. That's more than the 40% in the same demographic who consider it unacceptable. So in their survey, 41% thought, yeah, it's fine. Under the age of 30, yeah, it's acceptable. Now, obviously, everybody has a gripe with health insurance companies. Everybody does. My wife is dealing with an insurance company right now over some issues. And it's infuriating and frustrating. But at what point did we decide that, okay, if you're frustrated in anger, we can start killing people? What's the thinking here? The survey from Emerson College found 68% of all respondents found the actions of the person who shot and killed Thompson unacceptable. But what's also startling is that 24% of those aged 18 to 29 found it somewhat acceptable, while only 17% of that group, the 18 to 29-year-olds, found it completely acceptable. What? What? Are there really people out there? Well, that's a dumb question. Apparently there is. But how can you ever think that your frustration over the problems that, whether it's health insurance or anything, this could be dealing with cable TV. This could, think of all of the things that we have to deal with as citizens that are just a gigantic pain in the butt. that somehow the collective frustration and anger has just reached the point where, well, we can just start killing people. Are you kidding me? Oh, my gosh. It doesn't break down any of the other age groups. It just specifically in this story talked about the adults under 30. I would love to know what the other demographics had to say. I hate to say this, sound like the old angry guy, but this sounds to me like something younger people would be okay with. Which is odd to me because they're usually the healthier ones that don't have to deal with the insurance as much. I'm not saying they don't, but it happens to be the truth. That most of the people who have the problems are the older folks. So I'm just really flabbergasted by that, but it's the world we live in now, I guess. We've got some science news.
Consider the following: miscellaneous and wondrous things.
You see, it's a matter of science, lad. Come here, I'll show you.
Brilliant.
Blah, blah, blah. Science, science,
How
science.
can scientific truth be heresy?
What did the great man of science have to say today?
What is my all-time favorite science joke? A photon walks into a hotel. The bellhop comes up and says, will you have any luggage? And the photon replies, no, I'm traveling light.
I'm wondering if that joke needs to be explained to anybody. Photons are what make up the light. So that's why the photon's not carrying any. Oh, Ron Otto is like, oh, I get it now. He's not traveling with any luggage because he's traveling light. Scientists. Oh, here's some space news, astronomy news, which is perfect for Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson and his lecture in May. Search for life in the universe. I'll get it right. Scientists discovered the first ever pair of binary stars. That's two stars that are going around each other in the vicinity of the black hole at the center of our galaxy. This, according to research released yesterday. The discovery suggests black holes are not as destructive as previously believed and sheds light on the evolution of the stars in the universe. Using spectrometers mounted on the European Southern Observatory's very large telescope, researchers identified a young pair of several million-year-old stars bound together by gravity, which they dubbed D9. The pair orbit Sagittarius, the supermassive black hole occupying the center of our Milky Way galaxy, roughly 26,000 light years away. For decades, researchers had observed clouds of dust and gas in the region called an S-cluster, as well as solo stars, but believed the black hole's powerful pull would destabilize binary systems. The researchers believe that the two stars will merge within 1 million years relatively soon on a cosmic level. So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool discovery. Love the astronomy. And we've got a second science news story. And this is kind of cool as well. There's a crocodile conservation center in Scottsburg, South Africa. And one of their crocodiles, named Henry, is celebrating his 124th birthday. That is nuts. He was originally captured in Botswana in 1903. Henry, now a vigorous senior citizen at Croc World, is said to have fathered over 10,000 offspring. Holy cow, this crocodile's been busy. He's had numerous partners since he arrived there at Croc World over almost 40 years. I've heard crocodiles are philanderous. It's just unfortunate. While his exact birthday is unknown, Quack World representatives estimate he was born around 1900 and celebrate his birthday on December 16th. He weighs 1,500 pounds and measures 16.4 feet long, which is on the larger end for his kind. Their huge size keeps them safe from potential predators in their old age. So that's pretty impressive. So happy birthday to Henry, the 124-year-old crocodile.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
Double D.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
It's on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
And now for our devoted listeners, back to the show.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And here in a couple of minutes, I'm going to be flipping on the guest camera. We have 3 lovely dancers from the Dayton Ballet. Oh, and also a wonderful, delightful vice president of marketing sitting over in the corner, Brittany. But we're going to be talking to Jalen, Aaron, and Harrison, all performing in the Nutcracker going on right now at the Schuster downtown with the Dayton Ballet. But we're going to get into that coming up after the news. But first, I thought we were going to get through the new year without another monkey story, but we got monkeys on the loose again. Now, remember last month we had that facility in South Carolina where the 43 monkeys escaped. Apparently, there are still 4 monkeys on the loose. But this is happening. I heard this morning on Miami Valley's Morning News with Larry Hanskin. Down in Orange City, Florida, the police have issued a warning about a monkey that has been spotted swinging in the trees along the St. Johns River. A elementary school teacher had to warn parents after the monkey was seen running through one of the school's drop-off areas last week. And another woman photographed pictures, and I saw them. It looks like, and she thought it was a cat too. Like the picture, the first picture, it looks like just an unusually shaped cat walking on the top of a fence. But then I think the monkey realized he was being watched, and then he turned his head, and it's a monkey. Officials aren't sure if it's just one monkey or multiple monkeys. And they're just telling them don't feed the monkeys. But this is Florida. You know the people in Florida are going to feed the monkeys. There's going to be Florida men and probably some Florida women out there trying to catch the monkeys. So now, and I don't think that this is typical for Florida. I mean, they got the gators. They got the lizards that fall out of the trees when it gets cold. They got the boa constrictors and the pythons and all that. But I don't think the monkeys normally are on the loose down there. But who knows? And I don't think that this is one of the monkeys that escaped from South Carolina. That seems awfully far for a monkey to go, right? Monkeys usually stay pretty close to their own habitat. But there you go. Probably the last monkey news report of the year.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
Double D.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
on WHIO.
All right, we got. Let's test our mic since we're and get real close. You can pull the mic up close to you.
All right.
Let's give this a try here, Jalen. Let's hear you.
How you doing?
How you doing? Yeah, being just like you're talking to the back of the theater. Harrison, let's hear you. Oh, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry, wrong mic. There you go. Go ahead.
There we go. Are we good?
Much better, much
Cool,
better.
cool.
And then we have Aaron over here. Hi, Aaron.
How we doing?
Oh, great. Everybody sounds wonderful.
There we go.
Awesome. So, they're going to be here, and we're going to talk to them here in a few minutes, and we're going to talk about the Nutcracker. I need to find... I was going to
Never been on a Nutcracker.
The Nutcracker. I keep thinking about that video that I showed you earlier.
See, what's the one that everybody knows, the song from that? Which one is that?
The Sugar Plum Fairy,
Oh, yeah.
or
the party march.
Yeah, there's like a children's march.
Dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun. There's also the High Seas music.
Oh, yeah.
Russian music.
That's true. A lot of them got hits.
Crowd pleaser. Yeah.
Thanks.
Nocturne number, whatever.
Lana, I'm sorry they're not in costume.
Nah.
It's like I thought they were going to be in costumes. No.
If only.
Though I'm wearing tights.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a little bit about all of you, where you're from, how long you've been dancing, how long you've been with the ballet.
Sounds good.
And of course, we'll touch on the Nutcracker and all the good stuff. And I may repeat some of what I told you about being on the bar and all that. It's just nice to sort of reset.
Yeah.
Because ballet dancers are not the normal thing that you would have on my show, or but I I have a special place in my heart.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is fun. Never done anything like this. So
Yeah, I was like, never been on the radio.
Yeah, me neither.
Done a few interviews, but
Right.
Yeah.
for real.
Field trip. Out of the studio, out of the tights.
Normal clothes.
Right.
Who are we?
Say they get the real, the raw.
Hey, Ian, I'm going to give away tickets. I didn't put them into the system. Can you grab one of those forms out of my mailbox in the office? All I need is their name and email address, and that'll be enough, right, Brittany? Yep. Yeah, just for will call. Yeah. You just need a name.
And it's for Friday night.
This Friday night. Okay. Thank you. I swear I'm not actually wearing tights right now. That is true, though. It is true that there's a video out there. A couple of weeks ago, I accidentally handcuffed myself. And they were handcuffs that that my mother-in-law and wife found cleaning out her grandparents' house.
Oh, nice.
I thought they were just toy.
Right.
Like
haha.
Well, they weren't plastic, but I just thought they were like easy release, I mean, I kind of figured I knew what they were for, right? But they weren't. And I actually cuffed myself.
Dang.
And my wife tried to pick the lock for about an hour and a half, and finally I said, I'm just calling the cops.
Yeah.
So the cops show up. I'm out front. She's of course filming this. And I am wearing a pair of leggings because I said this on the show. I find them comfortable.
Yeah.
Sue me. I don't care. And that got as many comments, I think, as actually me getting handcuffed. Like, oh my God, Todd got handcuffed. What's he wearing?
I was on my way to yoga, and then this happened, and right.
this. We break in anytime. Now, back to America's most powerful talk lineup. This is WHIO.
And now, with your permission, I'm going to do my stuff.
Could this day get any more fantastic?
Let's get on with it.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. The live stream is up on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And, of course, you recognize this music, Tchaikovsky, from the Nutcracker. And we did this, I think, the first time last year. We had some dancers in from the Dayton Ballet who are performing in the Nutcracker. And I reached out to Brittany Laughlin. She's the vice president of marketing and audience outreach or development, one of those. She's over there in the corner being very quiet. And I said, hey, I'd like to get some dancers on the show because we did it last year and I really enjoyed it. I love talking to dancers. I love ballet dancers. My mom was a ballet dancer. Actually took classes with Miss Joe at the Dayton Ballet.
Yeah.
Back in the dark ages. Wow. But we've got a couple of dancers here, 3 dancers. We have Jalen Williams. Say hello, Jalen.
How you doing?
And we got Aaron Blair.
Hello.
And we've got Harrison Broadbent.
Hello.
So this is exciting. You are all professional dancers, and I'm sorry, some of the people on the live stream, I think they were expecting you in costume.
That's my tiara. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a little much to carry around with you, right? Especially in the cold weather.
Yeah,
Right.
They're a little uncomfortable as well.
But they are part of the production of the Nutcracker. It's going on right now at the Schuster Center, and this is a little special. I mean, the Nutcracker's always special. But and it is a Dayton tradition. I mean, I don't know how long they've been doing it, but they've been doing it for a very long time. I think I'm almost certain I went and saw the Nutcracker with the Dayton Ballet when I was in school, and that was back in the dark ages too. But this is a brand new ballet. This is like a brand new vision, if you will, of the Nutcracker. We're going to get to that in a second, but I want to ask all the dancers, Jalen, how long have you been dancing, and how long have you been with the Dayton Ballet? And get close to the microphone too.
So I've been dancing. I've been dancing for about over 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
So you started what, in utero? You look like you're about 18. I mean, no offense, but
I started dancing when I was about like 6 years old.
Okay.
I went to public arts like magnet school back home in Florida, so
okay,
they let us get opportunities to dance. So I started out taking jazz and tap, so I wasn't taking ballet at first, but I was doing different styles before I got to the ballet.
So you were a ballet Florida man. Yeah,
yes,
we got you. All right. Aaron Blair, how about you?
I started dancing when I was 3 years old, so that makes it just about 20 years for me now.
Okay.
23.
Yeah. And where are you from?
I'm originally from Southern California.
Southern California.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. We had a story about squirrels in Southern California. Apparently they've started attacking little voles. Like they're usually vegetarian squirrels, but now they're actually becoming flesh eating.
I've personally only seen a squirrel eat a slice of pizza. I think that's probably the craziest thing I've seen.
Yeah. I buy that. They probably, you know what that is? They probably got a taste for that pepperoni. And
right. Oh, yeah. Meat eaters.
Like a little furry
Carnivores.
pepperoni running around. And then we got Harrison Broadbent. Hey, Harrison, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. Now, where are you from?
Originally from New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Yep.
Okay. And how long have you been dancing?
Just about 10 years. Started when I was around like 3, 4. Yeah.
Wait, you started 10
Sorry.
years?
No. I've been dancing for around 10 years.
Oh, I got you.
Started when I was around 3.
Okay. You've been with the ballet for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
20 years.
20 years.
I'm
okay.
sorry.
That's okay.
I'm all messed up right now.
That's all right. That's okay.
13 years old.
13 years old. Yeah.
Dancing, great. Math, not so much.
always
It's all
been
good.
that.
It's all good. So let me ask you about, a lot of people know the story of the Nutcracker. It's a dream, it's a dream of a young woman and little girl, and she's having these dreams of sugar plums and all that good Christmassy stuff, tin soldiers and nutcrackers and all that. So what is different about this particular production from maybe in the past? And the second point, and anybody can answer this, what have you done to sort of make it locally? Because make it local? Because I know in the past there have been some sort of Dayton references made in the Nutcracker, done by the Dayton Ballet. What can we look forward to?
So I would say probably the biggest difference with this one is that normally Clara dreams of going to the land of sweets, and so the whole second act, like the Sugar Plum Fairy is like the queen of the land and like shows Clara like all of the different like sweets and everything. But what's different with this one is
she dreams of going to Huber Heights.
But in this one, she dreams of going to the land of time. So there's like a huge time concept, and all of the divertissements, rather than being like different candies, they're all like timeless toys or timeless gifts.
Okay. Okay.
So I think that was a really interesting take that Brandon decided to go with.
So
I haven't seen anything like it before.
Okay. So Aaron, since you're talking right now, what part do you play in the Nutcracker?
So my biggest role, I am the Dewdrop Fairy in the Waltz of the Flowers in second act. I've had a super fun time bringing that one to life. And then I'm also in like Snow Corps de Ballet, Flowers Corps de Ballet, and I'm a party parent. And I got to learn a few other roles like Snow Queen and Timeless Scent, which is traditionally to the coffee music.
So like a scent of mocha.
Yes.
Java.
Yeah. So like in the first act, there's like a whole gift giving exchange that kind of brings everything into the second act. It all starts to make sense. Yeah.
Now, Jalen, what about you? What's the one thing in the Nutcracker that moves you the most, or that you most connect with, or that you find sort of magical and wonderful?
I just like doing the Nutcracker, honestly. Like the Nutcracker is the ballet that made me like love ballet. It's what made me want to do it.
I would imagine that's the ballet that a lot of young people go and see for the first time with their families and be like, oh my gosh, there's this whole new world. That you
like how you said, like it was my first full ballet that I was maybe a part of, and that like I knew the story and everything. And then I had like older relatives. I had an older cousin. He was a professional dancer, so like he was dancing at the time, and it was just like cool to see somebody that was like me that was like doing it. So I was just like, yo, that's cool. You're putting her up there, like you can do that, and you're twirling up, you're doing the split jumps and all this stuff. So yeah, it was just a lot. So yeah, it was really cool, and it just made me like really love ballet. And then just doing like different versions, because this is, I want to say probably about like my fourth or fifth different version since I've started dancing.
Okay.
This one is just really cool because it's my first time having a Nutcracker set on me. So like being the original cast that it's like being choreographed on and everything. So like the next person after me that does this part, they're gonna be like, yeah, so you got to kind of be like that guy. So it's
you
cool.
are the OG in this particular.
So they got to do what I do, or they got to top it.
I get that. Now let me ask you this: I know in the past, for this production, the Dayton Ballet is not just the performance, the ballet dancers, but there's also the school, and there's classes for all ages. I think in years past you've incorporated a lot of the younger dancers into the show, and maybe even some outside. I know some outside kids, not kids that are outside. I mean, from outside of the school that participate. Harrison, can you tell me about that and working with these young dancers?
Yeah, it's been wonderful to work with these students. There's multiple roles for these kids in this ballet. We have in the flowers, we have them as butterflies. They run out and they dance with all the flowers with the company ladies.
They're like 6 years old.
They're like 6 years old.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We have clouds in the beginning of Act 2 with little like umbrellas, and they run around with the angels. But it's nice because I can speak for Jalen and I. We're teachers with Dayton Ballet.
Okay.
So we can teach these students during the year and then get to work with them in the studio.
Oh, that's
in
nice.
Nutcracker. So it's been a privilege for sure.
That I I'm sure they're wonderful, but it is certainly a challenge. I was in a musical years ago. I was Mr. Bumble and Oliver.
Nice.
And I was like one of 3 adults in this cast of about 80 kids, ranging in age from like 4 and 5 all the way up to teenagers. And boy, oh boy, do they have a lot of energy.
Yes.
You know?
Most definitely.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. All right. So the tickets are on sale. Now here's the thing. They've been selling out these shows. Yeah. And this is a hot ticket right now. So if you have or you were thinking about trying to take in the Nutcracker before the end of the holiday season, they've only got 5 more performances left.
Yeah.
So you need to jump on this right away.
And Friday morning is a sensory friendly show as well. So for any of our sensory friendly friends out there.
Okay. Yeah. If you've got children or like there are even adults who might have deal with that, that's the performance to go to. The website. What is the website that people can go to?
DaytonPerformingArtsAlliance.org.
Nope. Oh.
No, I'm wrong.
I don't know. Brittany's.
No, that was it.
DaytonPerformingArts.org.
DaytonPerformingArts.org. Now, that's my fault because usually I write that down and I didn't.
I was close.
Yeah.
DPAA.
Yeah. So, but you can just Google it. Just Google it. Dayton Ballet and Dayton Ballet Nutcracker. You can get tickets. But here's something that's really cool. They brought us some tickets that we can give away. So tonight, I'm going to give away 2 pairs. They gave us, I think, 4 total. I'm going to give away 2 pairs. So if you would like to be caller 5 or caller 6, 937-457-1290, and we will hook you up with a pair of tickets to the Friday night performance, correct? Down at the Schuster. And this is really, I mean, this is a Dayton tradition, and it really should be part of your yearly holiday schedule. You know, you go over to Carillon to see the big gigantic tree over there, the Carillon bells light up. That should be on your list. Going downstairs or going downtown to the Schuster to see the Reich's windows that are there in the lobby, and then also taking in the Nutcracker. And there's all kinds of fun Dayton traditions to partake in during the holidays. Well, Jalen, Aaron, and Harrison, thank you so much for coming in. I love meeting ballet dancers. And I mentioned this last year. My son and I were actually in a ballet with the Dayton Ballet. Now you're thinking, wait a second.
Wait, which one is this?
Who held him up over their heads? No, it was they did a ballet about baseball. I think it was play ball.
Oh, nice.
I think that's what it was called.
Oh, that's cool.
And my son and I played folks in the grandstand.
Dang,
that's awesome.
Just watching.
Fun.
And I'll tell you what, to watch the ballet from the audience is spectacular. But I was not a dancer. But when you're on stage and you're 5 feet away from somebody throwing someone up in the air, it's amazing. It's just amazing. So I have a terrific respect for what you guys do. So thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, it's my pleasure. And I'd really like to try to do this every year.
Yeah.
I love the Nutcracker and I love the Dayton Ballet. All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a terrific Christmas.
Thank you.
And a great 5 more performances. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
With Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper.
It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Now from the WHIO News Center, the three big things you need to know. The Fed cuts interest rates for the last time in 2024. A warming trend is expected next week, meaning not much chance for a white Christmas. And a Dayton Metro Library branch is back open after cops are called to break up a big fight this afternoon. Full details on these stories and more. Our next scheduled newscast coming up at 7 o'clock. I'm Ron Otto, WHIO Continuing News.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Refresh your ride with brand new tires at unbeatable prices. Plus, buy 4 new tires and get 4 free oil changes, an additional $300 value. Make an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
Most of your freeway system is running normal for this time of day. A little bit of a slowdown on I-75 from about Little York Road to around Benchwood. It's just volume, not an accident. About a 5-minute slowdown for you. I'm Will Harris, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
The Storm Center 7 forecast for Wednesday evening calls for mostly cloudy skies, and we could find a few flurries overnight with lows in the middle 20s. I'm weather specialist Nick Dunn for WHIO.
Snip, tuck, tuck, fold, crease, tuck, tape.
It's not that complicated, Dad.
Wrap, crease, tape, twist, tape.
Ohio Lottery scratch offs make great holiday gifts. And play Holiday Bonus Millions with a 200 times multiplier and a $2 million top prize.
Fold, crinkle, crinkle, roll.
Plus, you can enter non-winning tickets in My Lotto Rewards for a second chance to win up to 1,000 times the price of your ticket.
Please crinkle, tape.
Sorry, I left the buttons on. All right. Well, that was fun.
Heating, Air, and Plumbing Studios. Breathe easy. Choose McAfee. Call today or visit mcair.com. This is WHIO Dayton and WHIO FM Pleasant Hill. All news, all the time.
Temperatures will drop, but don't expect a white Christmas next week. Well, the latest at 7 o'clock. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
You ain't going to want to miss this.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Well, another big thank you to the folks at the Dayton Ballet. Brittany Laughlin, Vice President of Marketing and Audience Development. Also, dancers Jalen Williams, Aaron Blair, and Harrison Broadbent. What a cool group of dancers. You can get more about the Nutcracker on the Dayton Performing Arts Alliance website, DaytonPerformingArts.org. And they've got 5 more performances, one Friday morning for sensory sensitive people, Friday night, Saturday matinee, Saturday night, and a Sunday matinee. So if you want to go, now's the time to get the tickets because they're going quick. Well, thanks for listening tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night, just after 5. Oh, and don't forget, Friday night, my wife Mary is going to be on the show for a full 2 hours. She doesn't know that yet, but she's going to be a full 2 hours. You can get the podcast of the show at eveningedgetodd.com and all your other favorite podcast platforms. And you can always email me stories, questions, comments. eveningedgetodd@gmail.com. Have a terrific night, and I will see you tomorrow.
Well, show's over, folks. Thanks for coming.
Good show, old man.
Bravo. That was wonderful.
Game over, man.
Peace out.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. See ya. Be safe. Stay